Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Bad Guy, Ibra, aka Ibrahim. I'm your favorite Gambian, ladies and gentlemen. UFC 268. UFC 268 was the main event of UFC 268. Let's be honest, the main card, not the main event specifically, but the main card in general, is the best main card I've ever seen in my life. Can you debate it? You can't. Honestly, it was absolutely fantastic. The first fight in the main card between Justin, the highlight Gaethje, and Michael Chandler. Wow, mate, those people went at it from the start, dude. Justin Gaethje landing some devastating leg kicks and all of that, mate. It was fantastic. Michael Chandler obviously attempted a couple of takedowns and all that, although these takedowns were unsuccessful, but he just showed what a competitive fighter he is, because I did underestimate him, to be honest. I thought he had what's known as Dana White privilege. You know what I mean, Dana White privilege. But it turned out, the guy works hard as well, to be honest, not gonna lie, although there's an element of Dana White privilege that he had, which was one of the reasons why he had to fight for the title. But the dude is tough as hell. Justin Gaethje, absolutely fantastic. Then the next fight, Shane Burgos versus Billy Quarantino, the guy who caused all the quarantine, honestly. Great fight. Obviously, you got Maranchito Vera and Frankie Edgar with a front kick to the face. Absolutely sensational. I'm talking about Anderson Silva-esque against Vitor Belfort in 2011 kind of front kick to the face. Incredible. And then you've got the Tug Rose Namajunas and Zhang Weili. Oh my goodness. Tug Rose Namajunas. Zhang Weili, like, these two fighters, these two girls, if they would have fought 10 times, for example, at least one of them would have won maybe 6 of them, and the other one would have won 4. That's how close and evenly matched these two fighters are. Zhang Weili, you know what I mean? She was bouncing on her feet, it's just a style generally, and I was expecting she would have put more pressure on Rose Namajunas, but she didn't. Like, she just, was calm and all that, and eventually got some takedowns and that, but Rose defended really well off her back as well, and Rose Namajunas managed to get a couple of takedowns, especially a very decisive takedown in the last round. The final round, the 5th round, got a takedown, and which was essentially, although she hasn't done much, but this takedown was fucking instrumental. It was helpful. Honestly, the takedown was amazing, absolutely sensational, beautiful takedown. I think it faked the jab or something, went down, grabbed her, took her down. Honestly, beautiful. But I'm here to talk about the main event of the evening between the King of Chaos, Colby Covington, and obviously the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman, for the undisputed UFC welterweight championship of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. First, let's start by giving credit where it's due. Just like some great person back in the day had once mentioned, be hearty in your abbreviation and lavish in your praise. And I'm going to be very lavish in my praise for Colby Covington. Honestly, the guy is tough as nails. Colby Covington from, well, I don't know where he's from. I think he's from Florida. Yeah, Florida. Tough as nails, but originally I think he's from, Oregon. Chell Sonnen, Uncle B, Uncle Chell, hello. Anyways, let me get to the topic. Anyways, Colby Covington, you know what I mean? I thought Usman, obviously from the first fight, he, with all the confidence that he gained from the first fight by defeating Colby Covington, not just defeating him, but actually finishing the King of Chaos, Colby Covington, that, he would gain more confidence, and he's actually been more active than Colby Covington. He has had multiple fights, and Colby's only had one fight against a washed out Tyron Woodley. So you can tell that going into the fight that when it comes to the betting favourites, Usman obviously had the advantage and all of that. But Colby Covington never backed down. He fought really well. There was a round, I think it was the 4th round if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but he actually wobbled Kamaru Usman with a devastating uppercut. We saw it, that wobbled him, and when Usman dropped him in the 2nd round, Colby Covington stood, he was saved by the bell, not going to lie, a little bit. But eventually managed to get back on his feet, and fought a good fight, just like I have anticipated, or just like I had expected, to be honest. But he's tough. He's a tough son of a gun, just like Usman had mentioned. He's tough. tough as nails, absolutely tough, honestly, and he's very skillful, and his toughness does match his skill as well. So it's not like just one of those things when you say, oh, he's tough, but essentially what you're implying is that the person doesn't necessarily have the skills, or the skills don't necessarily back up his toughness. With Colby Covington, the skills definitely corresponds to his toughness, or match his toughness. Honestly, the guy is tough as nails, and I think Colby Covington and Usman, these people are so almost evenly matched, but I think Usman just slightly edges it. You know what I mean? It's like just one of those friends that you compete with, but you know that they just have a bit of an advantage over you, just a little bit. It might be maybe physical strength or technical ability, but they just always have that advantage over you. So let's assume that you would have fought 20 times. They probably might win 14 or 15 of those fights. So that's like Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman. Now let's get to the champion, the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world from Auchi, Nigeria, Kamaru Usman. Wow, oh my god. Dude, isn't this guy the greatest UFC welterweight champion in history? Now, with all respect, obviously I'm going to give respect to GSP, honestly, because when I was younger, growing up, one of my favorites... Excuse me. Apologies for that, by the way. Anyways, when I was growing up, one of my favorites to watch was George St. Pierre, and I remember GSP was meant to fight Nick Diaz, and I was looking at Nick Diaz as being like a villain sort of thing. So, you know, when you watch a movie, there's the villain and there's like the, you know, hero, and that obviously you want the hero to win, right? So I was like, obviously GSP is the hero. I mean, he has the French accent and all of that, so you know what I mean. And GSP has been amazing throughout his illustrious professional career in the UFC, especially as a welterweight. He's also a two-division champion, not simultaneously, but a two-division champion. Obviously, remember when he came back in 2017 and actually won the title against Michael Bisping in the middleweight division at 185 pounds. Incredible. I mean, he's defended his titles probably more times than anyone else. He's defended his title, welterweight title, against the likes of Nick Diaz, Carlos Condit, Dan Hardy. I'm thinking of Dan Hardy. I'm thinking of the likes of Thiago Alves, the likes of... You know, there's a lot of people who defended this title against, to be honest, like GSP, the likes of Josh Koscheck, for example, which is incredible. But if you look at the way the Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman does it, it's just nothing sort of sensational. It's special. It's dominant. Although like yesterday's performance, you might not say it's dominant, but it just shows the champion mentality, like the mentality of a real champion, where you might face a bit of adversity, but eventually find a way to win. We saw it with Namajunas against Zhang Weili. Incredible. It's that toughness, it's that mentality that we're talking about. You know, like that championship mentality, that mindset of, you know what, regardless of what's going to happen, or regardless of what's going to transpire, materialize right in this particular round, the next round I would still have the advantage, and I would eventually get the TKO or the knockout. That's the sort of thing, that's the sort of mindset, or even the be more dominant just to get the victory. It's all about winning at the end of the day for Kamaru Usman. Obviously, he's got his family. I mean, he's inspired by his family, and he talks about his daughter a lot as well, which is just amazing, to be honest. You know what I mean? He's a family man. Colby Covington as well, a legend. Both legends, honestly. Great fight. So, although GSP is amazing, and he's done a lot of amazing things, and I'm not one of those fans who easily forget the accomplishments or what, you know, like greats like GSP had done in the sport of mixed martial arts. I don't forget it, to be honest, because these were my inspirations when I was growing up. But, I mean, the way Kamaru Usman is doing it, it's just nothing. The way Kamaru Usman is doing it, it's just nothing sort of sensational. He's special. Absolutely sensational, ladies and gentlemen. So that's UFC... UFC 268 in a nutshell. Absolutely sensational. The Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman, the best in the world, honestly. The best in the world. Absolutely sensational. Yeah, so what are your thoughts anyways on the event? Because, you know, having a conversation with you, I've rambled a lot, to be honest. I've talked a lot. But, you know, man, UFC 268, not gonna lie, was probably one of the best events I've watched. I'm not saying the best, but one of the best events I've watched, not gonna lie. You know, I'm getting old. I'm an old man. I've been around for a long time. I'm old. I need to stop talking shit. It was a brilliant event. Dana White, this is why I've been saying this for a long time, but Dana White is the best promoter in the history of combat sports. excuse me, you had a lot of promoters, like amazing promoters in boxing, like Eddie Hearn, for example, Frank Warren and Bob Arum in boxing. In mixed martial arts, you've got the likes of Scott Coker at Bellator, and you've got Dana White in the UFC. But there's nothing that compares to Dana White, to be honest. Dana White is just something special, 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 special. The best promoter ever. Like, look at that. Look at the event yesterday. I bet, yes, there's people who came out to watch Canelo Alvarez, right? Which is amazing. Like, there was people out there to watch Canelo Alvarez, the legend from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, with a beautiful performance against Caleb Plant. Obviously, I'm going to make a video about that. ASAP. I am going to make a video about this ASAP. Amazing performance from Canelo Alvarez. But, wow, dude. Look at, and the crowd, there's a lot of people watching the fight as well between Canelo and Caleb. But dude, we had people in Madison Square Garden talk about the historical stadium, Madison Square Garden. I mean, incredible. And it was packed, full. It was full. It's packed, you know what I mean? And the UFC filled it. And the fights were incredible, amazing, as I've mentioned, the Shane Burgos. And I'm glad that Shane Burgos did what he did. He won, you know what I mean, is his first victory in nearly 2 years. And he came from a devastating loss, a knockout loss, actually, against Edson Jr. Barboza. So it's actually good to see him come back, you know, and do what he's done. Did what he's done. Come back to do what he's done. Incredible, absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to take the time to show appreciation to every single person who's obviously clicked on this video to watch this video. It means a lot to me personally. Obviously, I'm just a small YouTuber trying to grow my channel, a boxing and mixed martial arts channel, because I'm a fan of both. I'm just a fan of combat sports in general, so boxing, mixed martial arts, MMA. So it's just something I've loved, and I've grown accustomed to, and I've watched for a long time, and it's just been something to me, to be honest, personally. So I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourselves obviously a lovely, fantastic day, and until next time, peace.